Welcome to the video, guys. I'm really looking forward to going through this. This is quite a deep video that we're going to be going through, and it's something that requires an open mind. Like majority of my videos, I should just start my videos with that pretty much every single time. But I'm going to really show you guys how to control your perspective on things and how to allow you to manage your emotions, allow you to heal through any, I guess, situations or events that you've been through that you're still holding on to or still triggers you to this day. And it's a simple tool. You'll see it and it looks simple, but when you actually apply this to your life, holy shit, this is game changing. I learned this from Dr. John Demartini, and oh my god, since understanding it and applying it, my life has changed. The way I view the world, the way I communicate, the way I lead, the way I live in my relationship, in my businesses, in my life, as with my friends, with my family, it's completely changed the way I live. So when you can say that about something, you know it's pretty amazing. So hopefully I do it justice today and explain it the best that I can. So if you're listening to this on a podcast, I would highly suggest jumping onto YouTube and watching this on YouTube, because I'm going to share my screen. Obviously, you get to see my beautiful face as well, but I will be sharing my screen, so there'll be diagrams and stuff. Not too much, but definitely it makes sense if you can see it. So if you can jump onto my YouTube channel, it's just called Lewis Huckstep, and it will be, I actually don't know what episode it'll be, but it'll be around 82, 83 of the episode. So the same episode number you're listening to right now will be the same on YouTube, okay? But let's roll through it, guys. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Let's change it over. And there we go. So you'll be able to see me up the top right-hand corner, and hopefully you can see my screen. So we're going to be talking about emotions today, and how your emotions and how your perspective on events, people, circumstances, and events controls how you perceive the world. Now, the best way I got to explain this, and I got taught this, is everything in the world is always seeking balance, and everything in the world has just as many positives to negatives, as many positives or upsides as there are downsides. But whenever, every single moment, every single experience or perception that you have in any given moment, you are splitting your perception into two, and there's positives and there's negatives. Now, depending on your perspective and depending where you're choosing to focus, you're either going to see the whole picture or only a percentage of the picture. So for example, if it's like when you say you look up to someone, or say you're like in lust, and you're quite envious of someone, you're very sexually attracted to someone, and you really want to date them, you look up to them, and you fantasize about them. When you're doing that, if you're looking at my screen right now, there's a pendulum, and there's so many positives in the world and there's so many negatives, and they balance each other out if you look for them correctly. However, say for example you see someone that you're really highly attracted to, and you're looking up to them and you're pedestaling them, whether that be a role model as well, or just something, when you're putting them above you, is that your perception is swayed to one side and you're only seeing the positives. You'll see how elegant they are, how beautiful, how smart, how amazing. You'll see all the upsides, but you're not conscious of the downsides. You think of it, if you've been in a relationship before, it's like you saw someone that you wanted to be with, you wanted to date, you saw how funny they were, how sexy they were, how amazing their energy was, and you saw all of that, and you didn't see the downside until you got into a relationship with them, and you started to realize that they've got their downsides. They've got insecurities. They've got some past shit that they haven't dealt with. They've got a gross looking fucking wart or something that you didn't realize that they had. They've got a fetish that you didn't realize that they were into. Whatever that is, you'll start to become conscious of the downside. True love, hopefully I say this right, is the synchronicity and synthesis of equal and opposites put together. I don't know if I said that right. I learned that from Dr. John Demartini. Essentially, true love is seeing both positives and negatives at the same time and being completely in love with both. It's not just saying, oh, I love this person just because all they're positive and they've got no negatives. That's bullshit. Everyone's got downsides. I've got downsides. I've got a lot of downsides. I've got a lot of upsides as well. And I guess where I'm getting with this is, think of an event right now in your life where you're really negative about it, whether that be you're frustrated, you're upset, you get depressed over it, you get overwhelmed about it, it makes you I don't know, frustrated. It triggers a negative event in you. It's because if I was to ask you right now, what's the benefit of that situation or that person or whatever it is that you just thought of, you'd say, oh, there aren't any. Well, that's why you feel shit. That's why you feel negative, because all you're doing is you're only looking at the downsides. You're not conscious of the upsides. But through quality questions and through holding yourself accountable, you can find the positives. Like, for example, I had a client and I was working through like a sexual abuse experience that she went through. She got taken advantage of, she got drugged, and she got taken advantage of at a party, which is not a positive situation. And she was really upset. She obviously burst out in tears when she opened up to me. And we worked through it, and I explained what I explained. I didn't just jump straight to the question, what's the positive of that? Because not many people will be able to comprehend that when they're going through that. But after we'd shared, asked questions, had a conversation for about 20, 30 minutes, I obviously explained what I'm explaining today. And through a process of asking quality questions, we came up with 48 benefits of that situation. Boundaries that she sets for herself, not following old habits, not putting others before herself, loving herself, having self-love and self-respect for herself, etc., etc. We went through and we came up with 47 benefits of that abuse that she went through. And what was the best part, and this is hard to explain through one video, but when you get to a point where you hit that balance mark, where you hit that part where the penny drops or it all clicks or the light bulb moment happens and you realize, holy shit, this has happened for a reason. This has served me. How many people have heard some form of a motivational or inspirational quote that life happens for a reason? Everything's happening for you, not to you. So most people have heard some form of a motivational quote like that. But when you actually apply this lesson and these teachings into that, it fucking makes sense. So that's how we do it. So you might be, but again, this is hard to hear if you've never heard this before. That's why I said at the start of this video, you need an open mind for this video. So what I highly suggest is taking pen and paper, sitting down, write down the event, write down the details. How did it happen? What happened? Is specifically what was the action or inaction that happened to trigger you or to cause you to feel a certain way? And then ask yourself, what are the benefits of this? How has this served me? What did that teach me? How has this made me stronger? How has this made me a better parent? How has this made me a better partner for my partner? How has this served me long term? How is this going to make me emotionally more intelligent, emotionally more strong? Has this developed grit within me? And just keep asking questions. And then when you come up with a benefit, ask yourself, what's the benefit of that benefit? Say it made you emotionally stronger. Great. What's the benefit of that benefit? Well, if I'm emotionally stronger, that means I'm going to be better in my relationship. I'm going to be better in business. I'm going to be better for my partner. I'm going to be better for my kids, etc., etc. And just keep going. And once you hit that money mark where you hit that balance, where you, I can't say it right, equilibrate your mind, where you hit that balance point where you are conscious of the upsides and the downsides, there's a little, you gotta be conscious of this, but there's a flash of light that will happen. And that's what enlightenment is. When you can see absolutely everything that is happening. You can see both upsides and downsides. And there's more that goes into this, guys. Like I'll show you the next step that I teach people through my program, as you can probably see the documents I'm showing. So let's use an example. The longer it takes someone to balance out, and everyone will, the universe will naturally do it for you. It's like most people have heard or experienced hindsight before. Hindsight is like you experience something, then a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years later, something clicks and you're like, holy shit, I can see why that happened. I'm so glad that happened. I understand now why that happened. So it's like, how do you bring hindsight closer? Is you ask those questions to start to see the other side faster than just waiting for the universe to show you it itself. But the point I was getting to is like, do you know someone who has these really high highs, but has really low lows? Like they're really happy, excited, crazy, going out, having fun, partying, living the dream. They're over the top happy. But then they have these really fucking downs where they get depressed, they get suicidal, they get down, they beat themselves up, they go into a negative space. Most people know someone like that. It might be you. And it's because you're having these huge pendulum swings. Obviously, you can see my screen right now. It's like people start and they're super high, super happy, super amazing. But to balance you out, you're going to Whether you like it or not, whether you're going to hold yourself accountable and ask yourself those questions to help yourself do it, the universe will balance you out. Picture it like when you've had a fucking amazing day, you're just fucking ecstatic, you're super confident, and you're having a great day. And then somehow something, whether it's your partner, your kids, your boss, the traffic, the weather, the government, manages to piss on your parade and manages to just cut you down and humble you down into your place, because the universe is always seeking balance. It will find a way to do that. So the key is, and this is what I teach people, is like, how do you reduce those swings? Everyone's going to have ups and downs. Absolutely. Everyone does. If I read this, my document I've got here, everyone has ups and downs. If you expect to live a life with only positives, you'll live in a fantasy and you will experience nightmares to balance you out. However, the faster you can see both sides to a situation, the faster you balance your mind and the smaller the emotional swing that you'll experience. And I've been able to experience this firsthand and help my clients with this firsthand. It's like, yes, when something amazing happens, I'm not saying don't enjoy that feeling, just don't go over the top. Don't be like, go crazy and go, oh my God, life, it's like, it's going good, it's going to go good forever. No, it's not. You're going to have downsides. Like when I hire employees, and I'm super guilty of this, I'll only see their positives. Oh, he or she's so charismatic, they've got great experience there, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, now when I hire people, it's like, what am I not seeing? What's the downsides that I haven't been conscious of until this moment? And I start to consciously allow myself to see both sides of the perspective, not to just be swung to one side, because when you're seeing only positives, you don't see the negatives. And when you're seeing only negatives, you don't see the positives. And you can honestly apply this to fucking everything. If you've been through trauma is an experience or a perception of extreme emotion of negatives. That's all it is. That's a really different way to put it. I haven't really put it that way before, but it's only seen that. And then when you say, what are the benefits of that situation? The person will say, nothing. It fucked me up. It hurt me. It broke me, etc. That's why you're still caught up on it. That's why you haven't moved on from it. When you actually start to ask those quality questions of, how's this served you? How's this made you better? How is this serving you long term? What are the benefits of this? And stack those benefits, and you start to balance out that equation, then you don't get caught up on it. You get to move on. You get to heal from it. You get to no longer let that shit hold you back, which is pretty incredible. So where I was getting at, so the quicker you can see both sides, the smaller the swings that you have. So it's like, I still have ups and downs. Like I got quite emotional this week. I got some business challenges that I'm dealing with at the moment. And I had downs. I actually had a tear twice this week. And it's like, I didn't stay there. The old me would have stayed there for a week or two. It would have caught me up. It just would have stuck on my mind. I would have overthought it, and it would just really was stuck with me for a long time. But now it's like, great, this is serving me. What am I grateful? How is this making me stronger? What is this teaching me? How am I going to be better once I solve this problem? And I just keep going and keep going until I see the benefits of it as well as the negatives. I become grateful, and then I can move on. So that is what I wanted to teach you guys today. I hope this made sense. If you got some value from it, please let me know. If you're interested in working with me, guys, I've got programs available to teach all this stuff in a lot more detail. That was actually one of the exercises that I have there, and there's more exercises within that. But if you are experiencing a negative motion, I'll say that again. If you are experiencing a negative emotion, you are not conscious of both sides. Every fucking painful thing that you've been through has served you, either indirectly or directly. But if you aren't conscious of it, then you're going to be triggered. Then you're going to get caught up with it. Then you're going to hold on to shit. The faster you can learn to see how things have served you and how things have benefited you, the faster you can move on. But if you want to not be held accountable and you want to stay in your own head and you want to blame and criticize and attack and just put all the responsibility away from you, then guess what? You get to stay in that loop of negativity, in that loop of trauma, in that loop of pain, and you'll never move forward. Yes, that's direct. Yes, I'm being completely honest, but from what you've learned in this video today, you understand where I'm coming from now. If you need any help, you reach out, you send me a message. I will personally help you with this. Have an incredible day. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you got some value from it. I'll see you guys on the next one. If you could do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. If you could send this to one person that you think would get value from it, that is my mission to help people mentally and financially, or mentally, emotionally, and financially. So if you could send this to one person, I would really appreciate it. Have a great fucking day, and I'll see you guys on the next video.